Hi, this is Shadi. Exercise science and recovery science have come a long way. Now we think of training and conditioning our bodies as imperative and obligatory for our martial arts. No one just goes and trains martial arts by itself unless you're a very busy individual. So these are very important, whether it's running, weightlifting, bodyweight exercises, so on and so forth. So what we will do today is actually go through a few old manuals where they discuss how they condition themselves, how they warmed up, and also compare it with today. I'd say they weren't replaced, but rather there's a lot of stuff that was added because of the competition level and also the evolution of exercise science. So the first book here is from 1886, from the Meiji era. So this one is called in English Dumbbell Gymnastics. This is, I would say, just basic warm-ups with the dumbbells. It's not a very big book, but you can see you're doing a lot of shoulder and chest mobility. You are stepping in and out. Again, it's not very strenuous or hectic, or it's going to make you super strong. This is just for mobility, having good shoulder flexibility, and just moving around in general. It's a bit like the conditioning or the warm-up for the shoulders that they do in Kushti, but I would say it's far less strenuous, but same concept. Now here, this one from the Taisho era from 1912. These are I would say warm-ups for jiu-jitsu. Here you can see handstand wall push-ups, or just trying to balance yourself, having good core, having good mobility and good control over your own body and your own weight. I would say it's crucial, far more important than tossing around big weights. Before you are thinking of moving heavy weights like you see these jiu-jitsu fighters and judokas doing, think of managing your own body weight, cartwheels, and also one handstand, and here trying to be as agile as possible. Again, these are warm-ups that we do all the time. When you go to judo or jiu-jitsu, you see senseis working these, especially for little kids. So having mobility and functional, I would say, strength is very important and key to a good judoka or a grappler. Technique and being agile, like I said, is far more important. I know guys who can bench 3 plates but cannot do 1 repetition of 1 arm push-up. So are you really that strong? So I would say it's best to control yourself first, then trying to control the weight that you are working with. Also being flexible to have as best as mobility as possible is also very important. I would say the Japanese, they still hold these very much in high value. You see sumo wrestlers, as big as they are, they're flexible, they can do full splits. Here you can see Hitoshi Saito handstand walks, meaning he has a great core, he can manage his own body weight. Look how flexible he is, and again, he was one of the heaviest. So I'd say these are more important than lifting heavy weights. I say these should come first, then if you want that extra competitive edge, then add your heavy weights. So here, these are exercises that you do with your partner. These are done by Hiroyuki Akimoto. I would guess they're very old as well, not from this generation only. These are very physical, but at the same time, they would provide you with a strong core, far more, I would say, awareness of your own body, your own balance, and also trying to balance out your partner is also very great, and they will condition you. I remember when we did them in his seminar back in January of 2020, they were exhausting and they're very challenging. Like this one here, if you want to get good legs, you can do these. You can run up some stairs. It's not just about squatting heavy, doing Olympic lifts, or becoming a power lifter. So this is another great exercise you can do. If your sensei really works on these and they hold them as a priority, I'd say a little bit of resistance bands at home and some bodyweight training will do the trick if you're a very busy person. But saying that you're gonna need the steroids that you see in ADCC, or you need to move these ridiculous amounts of weights like Ono and becoming like almost like a Olympic weightlifter, again, these are not necessary. These are the guys at the highest level. I'd say your priority, like these, for example, the stability, the agility, the mobility is far more important than lifting just heavy weights. Again, I dare anyone to do this repetitively every session. So now let's talk about Shohei Ono. Shohei Ono is literally the best right now. So a lot of people might get the wrong idea that, you know, if I don't lift like him or I don't train as many hours of randori like him, I'll never be good. This is in fact not true. Remember, this is jujutsu, the flexible technique, gentle art, flexible way. These are done, I would say, at the end. These, for me, personally, I say these are the icing on the cake when it comes to being a high competitor at the highest level, winning multiple Olympic medals. He's not a great judoka because he's lifting these weights. Technique always comes first. Repetition, doing uchikomi religiously, having great cardio, they come first. Also being very agile, mobile, flexible for injury prevention, for being a very, I would say, comfortable in your own body, they come first. I personally have beat far bigger guys who are stronger just by being patient, waiting, pulling a few tricks, and then winning. Remember, this is judo and jiu-jitsu. Bigger guys are still losing to small guys, whether it's BJJ or judo in the All Japan. These will not make you a better judoka. Now, my problem with heavy lifting is the misconception. Let me ask you a question. Does this 50-year-old man look threatening to you? I would say not. But look at how much comfortable he is in his body. Look how he can move it at 50 years of age. Look how flexible he is. And if you read his challenges, his judo challenges, his fights against capoeira fighters, he was very successful. And again, it's all about technique, having high mobility to have the best range of muscle recruitment and also the best technique, and also longevity. Being flexible will protect your joints easily. Now, you may tell me that, you know, Kimura was far stronger than Elio, so strength does play a huge role in the equation. I would say yes, but let's not take away from Kimura his technical sophistication. Kimura was not just a strong man. He is known for being strong, yes, but he was just not a strong man only. He hovered above Elio all throughout the match. He controlled him. So it means that he understood leverage. He understood weight distribution. He understood that how to move with someone, how they are moving, and not just being strong and just dominating. The technical sophistication of Kimura was far superior than Elio's. And also, speaking of Elio was a middle-aged man. I would say he was much like Carlos with his body conditioning, and yet as a middle-aged man he fought a 3.5-hour vale-tudo fight and also all these judo matches as challenges. And Kimura also was not, as a part of his training, it's not mostly heavy bench presses and snatches. He would do a lot of these like you see him doing the jumping squats on the stairs, a lot of push-ups, and also religiously doing uchikomi. And that's what made him, I would say, stronger and also a better judoka. And of course, he was genetically gifted. I would say he's stronger than your average person. But in terms of lifting really heavy weights, I'd say become more agile, more functional first, then add them. Because if you have a very stiff body, stiff hips, stiff shoulders, adding heavy weights like you see them doing because you want to be like them will only hurt you. I used to be very stiff, and when I would add heavy weights, it only worsened my body. So the past year or so, I've been really focusing on flexibility and doing hybrid exercises between body weights and free weights. And I would say ever since I've prioritized stretching and doing like Carlos and doing these functional exercises, I've become far more, I would say, comfortable in my body, and I feel like I can train even more on the mat. So for those of you, I would say, if your sensei is focusing on conditioning as warm-up after or before the class, like Akimoto or here Kimura, adding a little bit at home will be more than enough if you have a job. And also for those who want to be at the highest level or have aspirations, being just strong is not the way. Remember, this is jujutsu, not go-jutsu, the rigid way. So Ono is flexible. Ono has good cardio. Ono has good agility and mobility in his body. And then he added those heavy weights. So whatever you happen to like to train, whether it's CrossFit, calisthenics, powerlifting, aside from your grappling or your training, make sure you are functional first and make sure you are flexible first, because adding those weights and exercises will only hurt you if you do them excessively or don't know how to train them in a good body. So again, think of Carlos Gracie at 50 years old. He can move, he can do all these things. That's what we want to do at the end. So if you have anything else to add, please let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. I have exclusive content for the patrons only. And please don't forget to check out Josh Simon's shop in the description below. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.